GloZell, is you okay? Is you good? Because I wanted to know. Okay, my question today is, this is serious. This is serious. I want to know how you feel about Dr. Martin Luther King. That's basically what I want to know. Because America is whatever you want to make it. A lot of people just want to say that it's just this racist place, blah blah blah. But this is a place where dreams come true for everybody and anybody. Okay, so there's this monument, this huge monument. I was just in Washington like last month or whatever. It wasn't open, but this huge monument to Dr. Martin Luther King. So what happens? There's this earthquake, right? An earthquake, and people in Washington, you know, they're like, what's going on? We never. I'm like, the ancestors, your forefathers, five fathers, you know, and a couple of the mothers, they are just like ticked or something like. I mean, an earthquake like felt in Maryland and all these places, right? So I'm joking about it because I'm thinking, oh, that's hilarious, right? You know, they have this big giant monument to this black man, and then there's this earthquake, right? Coincidence, right? Whatever. But really, how do you feel about Dr. Martin Luther King? Because let me tell you something about myself. I went to private school from kindergarten to 12th grade, and then I went to UF. I went to Valencia Community College East Campus, and then I went to UF. Okay, I've never had a black teacher, you know, in my life, and you know, I've been around a lot of diverse people. Okay, and let me tell you, every February I'm like, oh, because it seems like you had to learn, okay, Dr. Martin Luther King, he was a man who stood for peace. Cool. He was a man that stood for equal rights for everybody. Cool. Okay. There was sit-ins where white people would spit on people, on the black people, and they would splash coffee on them, and they would just sit there and do nothing. I'm just like, great. That's all right. Cool. And yes, and they stood for peace, and the dogs would just come barking at them and biting them, and you know, they'll show pictures of like the black people like, and the dogs like, ah, you know, and then the cops with sticks, you know, and everybody's like, ah, and they're thrown in jail, and people dying and killing and everything. And what happened to Martin Luther King? Because he stood for peace and love and justice for all people. Well, he was assassinated, and so you're just like, I'm gonna need more to this story for me to just be like, woo, this is who I want to be like, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, help me. I'm playing devil's advocate, by the way. You know, this is like, I don't really know what to think, you know? So I don't have kids, and you have to talk about Martin Luther King. One, he was a great man, yes, and two, everybody's gonna talk about it. But the images that come up, and I'm going, well, what? I'm missing something. I don't hear this. I've been to Atlanta, and I've been to his home house, and I've been to other memorial sites and his grave site, and you do feel something like, but I also felt something when I met Elijah Woods. Like, it's, you know, you've heard so much about this person, and then you meet them, you won't meet them, or you're around it, and you just, oh. So that, I've seen like people that are non-black act this out of like sitting on the counter and people, you know, throwing stuff at you, and then you do nothing, and then you get rewarded, not now but later. Like, there's this monument and the stamps and there's all this kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering, like, I really like to know, Dr. King's children, are they thinking like, okay, my dad did this and he died, but yay, we get a stamp, you know, like we grew up without a dad, but you know what, there's a statue, you know, like, I'm going, that's one thing. And then there's another thing. I don't know any black people who are really doing this, the love all people one day, that black people and white people join hands, and you know, I personally don't know. I know ones that are like, you know what, they're white people, and they don't ever want, and thank God we got President Obama, and because, you know, he got to figure out the mess that Bush did that mess, and Bush, Now let's go see the monument of Dr. King, because he stood for peace and love, and you just like, really? Because that didn't sound too, I mean, you saying one thing, and I don't. So I like to know, especially if there's any black mothers, what is it that you teach your kids about, not just black history, because People sum Black history up with Dr. Martin Luther King. Help me. I don't know. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve this, but I'm just trying to figure out. And the other thing I was thinking that, well, if I was white and I didn't like black people, you know, overall, I didn't like black people. And I feel like they're unruly and they're wild and they're crazy and they fight. Wouldn't I continuously put in your face somebody about peace, you know, like, don't say anything, you know, be nice. You know, you might get shot and killed, but look, you get a monument, you get stone carved out of you. You know what I'm saying? You get your own day. So I know white people and Muslim people and Asian people, and I know if you know that are diverse and everything, but I know I'm sure there's some black people too, such as myself. Look at my pictures. Look at the fans that come out to see me. Look at that. You know, like, I don't want to just like, oh, okay, great, Martin Luther King one day and not live it. You know, so I feel like I'm living it. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying I just don't. So he got assassinated for believing this, and you know what? His friends too. Oh, the Kennedys, y'all down with that too? Boop boop boop. All y'all gone. But peace, love, joy, happiness. So help. And since we're talking about peace, the comments that come in, we're gonna see how peaceful they are. We're gonna see how peaceful these comments gonna be, because we're talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, who stood for justice for everybody, love for everybody and all people. So I'm coming from like different worlds here or whatever I do. And I'm also coming from the South, so maybe there's black people in other places like, no, we need to love everyone. I just know a lot of them, I'm talking in general, who's just like, it's about community, you better stay together, we gotta work here, you know. But Dr. Martin Luther King, yay! I really don't know how this is coming across. I just kind of get confused, especially when I see little white kids and they're just like, and they got beat and everything, but they did nothing, and because they stood for peace. And I'm just like, well, okay, over that. I always over talk everything because I never know how to end anything. But anywho, what is your feelings about Dr. Martin Luther King? And I hope it's all great. I want to go to the monument, and I know we're gonna be like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, and you know, President Obama, but you know, so I'm done talking. Bye. I'm leaving. I mean, I had a dream too, and I'm living my dream as best as I can, as diverse as I can. That's just my nature. That's what I like to do. But I'm not, you know, to the point of getting killed and shot and knowing that this is gonna happen. No, I'm the person who's like, oh, y'all gonna do the sit-in? Okay, well, I'll go take your kids to school for you. Whatever. I'm not the person that's gonna, you know, let's just go. No, you know, like, if you don't want me at your house, I'm not gonna have a sit-in to make you come to my house. But then I might not be where I am or be able to go to the places that I can go to because those people did what they did. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that's just kind of glazed over. Anyway, I'm done talking. Okay, but okay, Woolworths. Okay, they had a sit-in, or allegedly, or whatever. Because I'm not sure about all my facts. So there was a sit-in in this place. But if you don't want me there, why would I go sit in there? Or here's another, isn't there more to African American history, Black history? That's a whole nother thing. African American, don't get me started on that. Okay, so history didn't just that aspect. And anyway, I'm done. Stop talking. Overnight. Done. Martin Luther King, great, awesome, amazing. What is your thoughts on him? Okay, overnight.